Good afternoon, Beeville. This is Cindy Clark from PAC-B TV, and I am here today with Mary Ock, Jacqueline Presley, Marilyn Presley, and Goliath from Guiding Eyes for the Blind. Thank you, ladies, for coming to join us today. I appreciate that.
Thanks for having us.
Mary, you've been with us many times before. We do follow-ups and, bring in new students and just we want to showcase an organization that's a very good organization, a very solid organization. And so today we're going to have a little conversation with Jacqueline and Marin and Goliath. Now, ladies, why don't we just let us know your history? How'd you get started on this organization?
So I was a mother expecting my third little baby, and I thought, life would be so much better with a dog. And I had no experience with dogs. I did not grow up with dogs. But we had done some pet sitting when I was in high school for this organization, Guiding Eyes for the Blind. And I remembered that, and I remembered that sometimes they will let you adopt a change of occupation puppy. So these were the dogs that weren't suited to be guide dogs. And so we applied to do that, and we're matched with a beautiful German Shepherd named Lars. A month after we got him, I had my son, and I went on to have another baby, so I have 4 children.
You had your hands full.
And Lars was the best family dog you could ever imagine. He was like Nana from Peter Pan, helped me keep an eye on them, just wonderful, just a wonderful family dog. So unfortunately we lost him to cancer, and we as a family weren't quite ready to welcome a new family dog. And we thought, what would be a really good way? We wanted a dog, but we weren't quite ready for a replacement for
Know the
Lars.
feeling.
Yep. So we said, what could we do instead? And well, hey, why not give back to this organization that provided us with such a wonderful pet and raise a dog? And so we raised our first black lab, I think 2022, and now this is our second Goliath. So
Now, how old is Goliath?
he had just turned a year, beginning of July, so July 3rd.
I have a special place in my heart for shepherds because I had my Miss Ashley for close to 13 years, and they're just, as far as I'm concerned, there's no other animals like shepherds.
They're phenomenal.
Oh, he's a beautiful, beautiful dog.
They
You
have
are beautiful.
This wonderful, emotional connection. They
So
almost, yes.
So
They feel you. They know what you're thinking, and
They anticipate.
Yes.
They respond to your emotions. Oh, they absolutely do. So now, who does the training most? Is it a combination of all of you, both of you, one of you? How does that work?
So I mean, it's a family venture because everybody knows their rules with with the certain commands with these dogs that we have to and solidify, and house manners. So the whole family is involved, and that's 6 of us. But primary working on those commands, learning those commands. I did the black lab myself, but Marin really got involved in that and loves animals and has this wonderful patience level that I don't have. So it's wonderful this dog to have her as a official secondary co-raiser. So I couldn't do it without her because managing a house of 6 is tough.
Well, it's a big deal. It's very tough.
And she fills in, and I have a feeling that she will eventually go on to be independent in it as well. So
You figure this could be part of your future,
I hope so.
like it is with Mary. Like she's committed. You've been many, many years involved in all of this, which it does take a commitment. It really does. And, but it's a commitment of love, and the what you're potentially providing for others. Now, how long, who do you have to be trained first to train the dogs?
So prior to getting our first dog, we met with Mary. I remember that day very well. And we watched a few classes. We went in, and you do have a training, a couple webinars at that time?
Yep, so there's a whole protocol for training before someone is placed with their first dog. So it's to make sure that you know Guiding Eyes philosophy on dog handling and working with dogs, the specific training commands that are used, and just expectations that go along with puppy raising. So there's puppies all the way from Maine down to North Carolina, out to Ohio. So at any given time, there might be close to over 100 puppies that are doing what Goliath is doing. And all of the puppy raisers are using the same commands, using the same voice commands and commands, so that when they go in for their formal training, regardless of where that puppy was raised, they all have the same foundation.
Okay, okay. Now, how long is, maybe a little background on your organization before we go back, because I'd like to see a few commands that I know you will excel at. You'll ace it. Just kind of give us a little background on the organization, why it started, when, where, that type of thing.
Sure. So Guiding Eyes for the Blind was formed in 1954. The organization's mission is to provide exceptional dogs to people with vision loss for greater independence. And so we're really passionate about matching those exceptional dogs with someone. Guiding Eyes breeds all their own dogs, so they're always trying to find the dog that has the right temperament, the right health history, for the most chance to become a guide dog. Because just like Lars, who was their first dog, guide dog work is very hard, and it's not for every dog. So Guiding Eyes really believes that every dog chooses their own career.
Okay.
So they breed their own dogs. At about 8 weeks, they're placed with volunteer puppy raisers. They stay with their puppy raiser till they're about 1.5 years old, and then they'll go back to the training school.
Now, where's the training school?
Training school is located in Yorktown Heights, which is about an hour north of New York City.
Okay.
Once there, they'll be paired with a professional trainer who will teach them the actual guide dog skills. So up until this point, the puppy raiser has been teaching good house manners, basic obedience, and then socialization. So socialization is all about taking the puppy out and about to learn about the world. Once they start the formal guide dog training, they'll use those experiences that they had with their puppy raiser. So an example might be they come to a curb and there's a change in elevation. So having good walking skills, being polite, not pulling or tugging, things that they learned with their puppy raiser is going to then help them when they're doing their guide dog work.
Now, is it typical with a blind person that they always use a cane or no, or they just rely strictly on their dog?
So it's really a lot of individual preference. Some people who are blind prefer a cane.
Okay.
Some people who are blind prefer a dog and the attributes that a dog can bring to them. So it's really something that is a personal preference in terms of how they navigate.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yep.
that makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense. And so you try to, now if you have somebody that's vision loss, they are interested in this type of thing, do they have to, where would they train or meet the dog, potential dog?
Sure.
Where would they do that?
Yeah, so Guiding Eyes has a process. When someone is looking for a guide dog, they would reach out to Guiding Eyes. They have someone who actually will go to their home and do a home interview and find out more about their needs. Do they need a dog that can work in a very busy city, taking them to their job every day? Are they somebody who's maybe more low-key and just needs a dog for things they're doing out and about? Are they somebody who is very active and athletic and they need a dog that can keep up a very busy, active lifestyle? So Guiding Eyes will take all of those attributes and information, and then they'll look at what dogs they have that are ready to be placed with someone. And what are the dog's attributes? Is it a dog that can handle a really fast-paced environment? Is it a dog that maybe would prefer, a small town or village?
Well, they're probably different just like people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As to what they like or what they don't like, yeah.
Yep. So the goal is to get that best match.
Okay.
When they're ready, there's a couple of different ways that they can be trained. Some people go down to the Guiding Eyes campus and train down there, so they'll be matched with their dog and then work with a trainer for about 2 weeks. Sometimes the trainer will go to their home and bring the dog, and they'll train in their home environment. So there's a couple of different options, but there is definitely training that goes along with that new match to help them, learn and bond and make sure that they grow together.
Why do they always sit on my feet?
I like to be close.
I know. I'll let you know if I want to move. I will. I will. I promise. I promise, because you're so handsome. So, ladies,
Yes.
just tell me how it is to work with Goliath. I mean, like day to day, when you get up in the morning, what do you start? As far as the training.
Sure. Well, I will say that they named his litter. They go alphabetically with litters. He was a G litter, and they named him out of his litter so aptly. Yeah, I mean Goliath, right? So he's a big boy. He sets a fast pace, and morning looks like a lot of exercise. We do a lot of exercise with them, so a lot of walking. And then the training schedule from when they come at, 8 weeks is when we first met him. And we start right away with name response. So he immediately as possible, can recognize his name. So, for instance, my family would sit in a circle, 6 of us, and we would just play this game where each one of us would say, Goliath. And then that's the response you want, is that look, that response, treat. Yes. And then the treat comes with always a special word that marks it's a mark and reward, so it marks the right behavior. And for us, we use yes. And then Marion gave him a treat, just because when I say Goliath, yes. He knows who called him. And so that was the very first skill.
And he knows right where to look for those treats, doesn't he?
Yeah. And it's a very reward-based positive reinforcement. And so from there you work to higher level things, sit, and then heel, stay.
Walking
those are
with
all.
you.
Walking with
That's
you.
a hard one.
Yep. And he sets a fast pace. So we've been working a lot on not pulling too much in front of an individual.
He's healing well and all of that?
Yeah,
or?
but to a degree. So if he works and he goes on to work in a guide dog capacity, we want him to lead out a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But not too much.
Okay.
And finding that balance.
Yeah,
that's gotta be tough.
That's what we're working on, yeah. And he does it wonderfully.
Can you show some up or down or sit
Sure,
or
yeah.
whatever?
And also just wanna.
Do we have enough room for you to do that here?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
Good. Sit. Yes. Good. Down. Yes. Good boy. Over. Yes. Good. I'll take it.
Looking for those treats, isn't he? I love it. So am I, come to think, they look kind of good, actually.
And then I just want to point out too that just being still for as we've been talking
So
here,
well-behaved.
that's a skill too.
It is.
So that's something that we build up, and you could probably see Marion rewarding through that whole interview to let him know that he's doing a great job just being.
By
Yeah.
petting him and giving him a treat just to show that he's being good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Rewarding.
being there,
yeah.
rewarding for just doing nothing.
Just doing nothing.
Just doing nothing.
Right? Because this is something for him. There is
Yeah.
a lot going on, a lot of changing. Anytime somebody moves, that's like, oh, what's that? Change in environments, things, that he hasn't seen before. And so just being and able to cope with all of that is really a good thing.
He's
So,
coping very well.
Yes.
He's so well behaved. So well behaved.
He's a
So
good
now,
boy.
how long will you have him?
Well, I don't have an official date yet, which means that it's not in the next month.
Right.
But at any point between 12 months and 18 months, we'll get about a month's notice generally.
Okay.
And he'll be back into school for training. And yeah, so there's the excitement of that for us as well, to see how he does at school.
Right, because that's a reflection on you.
Yeah.
And what good teachers and friends and, how much love you've shown him and attention.
Right.
Now, you think this is something that you want to maybe get involved with animals in the future, or just as a sideline and say your professional career down the road?
Well, I think I'm gonna definitely keep my professional career open to anything, but I know for sure that I'm always gonna be around animals. So whether that's with this or something else,
And it's a great cause. I mean,
yes. And it, yeah.
animals, with the problems you have today. I know we've had groups in here with a cat hoarding situation that they had with 100 cats in a room. We've had, well, Mary, you've been with us several times, helping hounds, second chance, because there's such a need. I know that this is a little different than a basic rescue organization, but I always feel that it highlights and showcases animals and the love that we have for animals and animals have for us. And even if somebody say didn't want to do this, they wanted to adopt or rescue, if we encourage somebody, we all work together on all of this to keep everybody that has a home.
Yes.
You are so beautiful. Oh my heavens. Oh my heavens.
And on so many levels, animals can be life changers.
Yes.
From the ones that are adopted from rescues to ones that will, function as somebody's eyes. So it's just so much a part of our life, and it's nice to see the environment and society changing to accept that, and allowing, that kind of closeness between humans and their animals.
Well, there's so much to be learned. They can learn from us, and we can learn from them. And when you have an organization like this, I mean, these types of organizations, I can't say enough good about, because it allows freedom and a whole change of life for somebody that doesn't have sight, to get out and live and not be dependent on somebody else all the time.
Right.
And I mean, what do they do, like, as far as vets? How do you get them to you have to have a family member, Mary, takes up, is it time to go for shots or things like that?
So in terms of when a guide dog
Wanna
user
come back?
who has their dog?
Yes.
Yep, so, part of the piece of having a guide dog is that independence to be able to do things like that. So, yes, perhaps you go with a family member, but, maybe you take a taxi, or maybe you take an Uber, or maybe you take the bus. And the guide dog, might be a surprise when they get to the vet.
Yeah.
But they are making that possible, that somebody can do that on their own, that they have.
Because I never thought about
ability.
that in previous
Right.
interviews about what you do for stuff like that, how you get them there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then how they behave when they're at
Right,
the vet, which can
right.
be a stressful environment
Right.
for some pets.
know.
So
Oh.
we do a lot of work on positioning at the vet, and so the dogs have been familiar and they come up on tables, and we practice that in our classes, our puppy classes.
So
Yeah.
he's okay. If he has to go, he's fine. He
Yeah.
responds, he's
Yeah.
nice, he's well behaved,
Yes,
and
yeah.
he doesn't try to play with everybody. I know that mine kind of liked to do that. She wanted to meet everybody. She's like me, very social, wants to talk to everybody.
Right, and every dog's different on how they respond to that particular environment. He was piece of cake. Now, my black lab, that was a situation that we wanted repeat exposures to, so that it wasn't new and scary anymore. So I would go to the vet, I'd call them, I'd sit in the parking lot after I drop you off where you need to be. I said, hey, are you empty? Is your office empty right now? Can we come in and walk around? And so we would play on the scale, stuff like that. So
that's
that
a good
really,
idea.
yeah, it really helps them to say, hey, this is not a scary place. I've been here before, to help the person that they will eventually be helping as
Oh,
well.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's a great example of how what we do when the dogs are with us will translate to when they become working guide dogs. That experience they had with their puppy raiser makes that it's no big deal when they do it with their person that they're working with.
Well, there's so much to think about as far as what you have to learn
Oh, yes.
and deal with.
Everything.
It's bad enough, it's, not bad, but it's difficult enough with just a normal situation. But when you're dealing with a vision impaired individual, it's a whole different set of circumstances.
Yeah.
Totally different, right?
Right.
Now, how long did you say it takes to train him?
So once he goes back and starts formal training, it's usually about 6 months
Okay.
that they're working with the trainer on the actual guide dog skills. before they're ready to be matched with someone.
Okay. And as far as once you find somebody that's, is it difficult to find a match for an individual and a dog?
Well, because there's such a great need and demand, there's always somebody waiting for
Okay.
a dog.
Okay.
So then it is a matter
Yikes.
of making sure it's a good match. So somebody who's waiting for a dog can wait, unfortunately, quite a long time to make sure that there's a dog that will be compatible for what their needs are.
Right, because it's not just, well, here, take the dog for a month or so and we'll call it a day. It's not at all, because they have to integrate into your family, into your emotions, into your feelings, wherever they're going for the training. They've got to meet, they're with you, then they'll be with somebody else, and they have to learn their personality.
Right.
And so that can mesh. It's quite a process.
Yes.
I give you a lot of credit, because I would have a hard time saying goodbye, but that's,
Right.
and I don't want to dwell on something like that, because you have to look at what you're doing to help not only Goliath and Lars, you have to understand, I guess, the overall picture, the end result here. That
Yes.
somebody that's truly needy, much more needy than us, has a second chance at a different, it opens up their
Yes.
life.
Absolutely.
Yes, it does.
And that going in. It's
Yes.
not a
Right.
surprise, so that really helps too. And I would happily keep him as a pet, but I will say that he has, I think, now the professional trainers will know for sure when he goes to college, but I think he has a capacity to do so much more than be a pet. I would almost feel a little bit bad if I were to
Right.
not give him that opportunity to go and see, just like you would a kid, know,
Right.
just to go and see, what can you do?
Right.
How can you make the world
Well,
a
you
better
go to
place?
college.
Right.
Go to college, go into a professional career type thing.
Right.
Because they are, I know they all have to be smart, but based on my experience with shepherds, they're, just because they're so smart, so intuitive, and so emotional and responsive, that, I kind of thought about, I wish I could have bred my dog, but we got her when she was already spayed, because it would have been so nice to have others like her to share.
Right.
Because she really was a wonderful dog, and I can tell from Goliath what a wonderful dog he is. And I understand what you're saying about letting him show his true potential.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I can see it. I mean, well, I'm not an expert, trust me, but I can just see the behavior and the calmness, and just a nice dog. And that there's so much more to be tapped into. I know.
I'm really excited to see where he's going to end up.
Yeah, already.
And you think about, we have a family. It's a large family. We have lots of, there's lots of love in our family, lots of people, and there are people out there who are not as fortunate as that. And then on top
Hey,
of that,
Goliath.
have a disability. Goliath. On top
I
of-
know he's probably not supposed to do that, but doesn't bother me a bit.
On top of that, they have a disability,
Yes.
and this is a best friend.
Yes.
And a pair of eyes.
Oh.
I mean, this is a wonderful thing. So
It is.
I can't wait to see what he can do.
Do you
I'm very
ever meet,
excited.
or will you meet?
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
And I think they leave that up to whoever he is paired with.
Okay.
And how far they want to continue that relationship. But there are many, and Mary can speak to this better, many long-term,
Yes.
best
Oh, I would
friendships
think so,
that have.
because you're all part of the family.
Yes.
I mean, you family, you really are.
Yeah, it feels very much like that.
Yeah, I
and
would
I will
think
tell you
so.
that the humans I have met through this organization are some of the best I have ever met.
Well, I think it takes very special people, just based on my experience over the years, that, just to deal with animals and to be committed and devoted to helping them, to saving them, to training them, whatever the case might be. And it's a camaraderie amongst people that think alike.
For sure.
That type, like thoughts with the animals. Well, I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed with all of this, with you. I think it's great that you're getting your daughter involved.
Yeah.
I think it's fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
It's been a learning. I learned from her. I think you learned from me, and then I learned a lot from her too. It's so interesting to see. Oh, you're giving. Don't sell yourself short. She's got the patience level. This tolerance that's so important for animals. And for me in my busy life and what comes next, it's really nice to be able to step back and see that from a kid's perspective.
Yes.
It has a lot less mess
Different,
up there,
different.
right?
The hard drive isn't as full
Right.
as it is later on. That's true. I've been watching the interaction here, and it's very impressive. It really is. Like I said, I'm no expert, but I can see connections here, and it's
Yep.
great.
Yep.
It is great. Mary, why don't you let us know, let our viewers know if they're interested in volunteering, getting involved, finding out more information about the organization, how would they go about doing that?
Sure. So you can visit the website, which is guidingeyes.org. And also we have an email address to our local Central New York region, which is centralnyregion@guidingeyes.net. That email comes to me.
Okay.
And if anybody was interested in learning more about puppy raising or other ways to volunteer, ways to donate, whether it be monetary or some in-kind type of donation, be happy to, speak with anybody who's interested in learning more about Guiding Eyes for the Blind.
Well, again, ladies, all of you, and Goliath, I know you probably want to go for a ride here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you spending the time and educating us a little bit more.
Yes.
Mary, thanks for coming back.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Love it.
And I would love to see down the road we'll do another follow-up here, okay?
Yes, look
All
for
right.
us around.
Yes, we will.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you.